welcome back. You're listening to Tracks and Turns.
Today we have a segment that we like to call F1 Notes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just things that we have either like noticed right now or things we have been thinking about for a while.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to to discuss these things and talk to each other because I don't think we have put down the same things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can start with one of the things I was thinking about because I was looking at the standings for the drivers and I saw that Behrman had 18 points and Ocon had 3. And I just felt like it had been going very bad for Behrman as of late.
Yeah.
And that it had gone better for Ocon, but obviously he's not gotten that many points. So I think I've just mushed it up in my head, thinking that he got some points, but probably he was out of the points.
I haven't even realized that he only has 3 points.
No, that feels very low. But at the same time, I think Behrman did very much in the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. So I decided to investigate, to look at all the standings, all the stats.
Yeah, you're the new FIA.
So I looked for Australia, for example. Mm-hmm. Behrman qualified 12th and Ocon qualified 13.
Yeah.
So he was out qualifying him.
Mm-hmm.
And in that race, Behrman ended up 7th, while Ocon ended up 11th. So Ocon was out of the points, but Ollie got 6 points for that race, for example.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a pattern, because when I came up with this, I realized that Behrman had out-qualified Ocon for 5 of 7 races.
Oh, God.
And Ocon had only done it for 2, effectively. Which says a lot about... I think for Ollie, it was Australia, China, Miami, Canada. I think that he out-qualified Ocon. Mm-hmm. And then it was for Monaco and Japan that Ocon out-qualified Behrman. And I think then for Japan it was quite a bit between them, because Ocon was in 12th and Behrman was in 18th.
Yeah.
And in Monaco, they were pretty close, 19th and 17th. And I think that's kind of a pattern, because when, for example, Ollie in Canada got 16th, Esteban got 17th. So they've always been pretty close together.
Yeah.
But it's in the races that Ollie manages to make up the difference. Mm-hmm. Because he had 7th place in Australia, he had a 5th place in China, and that's 16 points on only those 2 races.
Yeah.
And then he didn't finish in Japan. Mm-hmm. Then he had an 11th, which is 0 points. So Japan and Miami were not very good for him. But he got 1 point in Canada. And then he DNF'd in Monaco. And then he got no points in Barcelona. So he's had a pretty bad stint since Miami, I would say. At least he got 1 point in Canada, where Ocon got no points at all. Mm-hmm. But I think it's not looking like he's had quite a good run. But at the same time, Ocon only has gotten point in 2 races, and that's Japan and Monaco. And that's only 1 point for Japan and 2 points for Monaco. So the best he's done this year is 9th, which is not even close to Ollie's 5th place.
Yeah.
So I think crazy. We've just been thinking that Ollie has been doing bad, but somehow Esteban has done even worse.
Yeah. If you compare them, you see that Ollie's been doing good, obviously.
Especially those 2 first races, then Australia and China, 16 points, on only those 2 races. So
that's crazy.
That's also interesting. When you look at the race finishes, then Behrman has finished 4 ahead of Ocon, and Ocon has finished 3 ahead of Behrman. But it's very interesting to see then that those 2 of those 3 for Ocon were Behrman DNFs. Yeah. So that kind of says a lot about his season. So I think we've been maybe too harsh on Ollie. He's not been doing great. But when you compare him to his teammate, I think he's he doesn't need to sweat. But that's just something I was interested to look at, because somehow I just thought that Esteban had been doing better. Mm-hmm. Over to you. What do you have written down?
I've written down that Hamilton has outperformed Leclerc, which I wonder why. Oh, I mean, obviously he won a race, so maybe that's why. And also Leclerc's DNF'd 2 races, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
two DNFs.
it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because why is Hamilton the first driver all of a sudden?
But like, can I just stop you for 2 seconds?
No.
Think about but just like think about the fact, for example, that Lewis has had no DNFs this year.
Yeah.
Charles had 2. So that's you have to like account for that as well.
Also, Hamilton has 115 points in the championship, and Leclerc has 75 points, which is also
that seems like a lot.
but it's also okay thinking about the DNFs. But also the interesting part is the sprint points, because Leclerc has 17 sprint points and Hamilton has 11 sprint points.
Oh,
like why? How does that work?
Yeah, that seems kind of strange thinking about it, because that would suggest that Leclerc does have some pace, but it's not been always looking. I think it's been quite inconsistent, because I thought I saw somewhere that Charles, I don't remember which race, but I think it was 8th one time, which just I didn't really remember that. But yeah, I think Hamilton has been more like even.
Yeah.
And on that topic, or if you're done, I just want to jump in with the fact that Hamilton has had podiums 4 times this year.
Yeah. That's
like,
crazy.
Like, can you understand that?
No,
like
I
that's more than all like any other driver except for Kimi.
Yeah.
Who has 6 podiums.
It's crazy, to be honest. What happened with
why
Hamilton?
haven't I like registered that?
I have no clue.
Why have it all of a sudden started to be like normal for Lewis to be and I think he was second, I think, through 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. The crazy thing is like what happened since last year, because now he's flying and last year was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, because I think if this had been last year, we would be like, what happened to his form? Like all of a sudden it's crazy.
Flying.
Yeah. And especially like compared to Charles, like I don't know.
That's crazy.
Because I think Charles has been he's been out of the podiums as well. I think, if I remember it correctly, I think Leclerc has 2 podiums.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Which seems crazy, because that would mean that Hamilton has double the amount of podiums.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, they drive for the same team, they have the same car, but it's still such a difference.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Like, I think it was looking good for Charles in Monaco. Like, it was looking quite okay. But then, of course, the DNF. But I hadn't really registered this. Like, I hadn't really noticed it until I was looking at the stats. Crazy times, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so my next one was really actually talking about Alpine. Because I hadn't really noticed that they were 8th and 12th in the Drivers' Championship. Yeah. And that Gasly had somehow gathered 41 points. I was
That's crazy.
Really confused. And Colapinto has 16. I was like, where did these points come from? They have 57 together, so they are 5th in the constructors.
That's also crazy.
Which is kind of maybe not very confusing, because we talked about the fact that they have a Mercedes engine this year, and we were thinking that they were going to place themselves at least above all the other cars who don't have that engine. But it's looking quite good for Alpine.
Yeah.
And like, I have to say, we've had some of the like top dogs go out of the races this year. Like, I think we had about 7 DNFs in Monaco. We had 8 in Barcelona, out of which some have been like Russell and for example, Russell in Canada. I think it was Charles Leclerc in Monaco, Charles Leclerc in Barcelona.
Wasn't it Antonelli in Barcelona as well? Was that first? Yeah, it was.
And then Piastri didn't start in China. Lando didn't start in China either, right?
I think it was China.
Yeah. So like, it's been a lot of fewer people in the top 10. But I just want to run through these races for Alpine as well, because you have in Australia, Gasly had 1 point. Yeah. He was in 10th. Makes sense. Like, that's where we think that they are going to place themselves.
Yeah.
In China, Gasly got 8 points and Colapinto 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like already kind of a good weekend. In Japan, Gasly got 6 points.
Yeah.
In Miami, Colapinto got 6 points while Gasly DNF'd.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's someone is picking up points all the time. Like, that's good. And then we had Canada. Gasly had 4 points. Colapinto got 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Monaco, Gasly got 15 because he got the 3rd place that he actually was entitled to.
Yeah.
And then in Barcelona, Gasly got 6 points and Colapinto got 1 point. And that's like crazy in itself, the fact that they've been scoring together on 4 of the races.
Yeah.
But also, it's crazy to think that Gasly has scored points in all of the races he's finished this year.
Yeah, true.
That's 6 out of 7.
Yeah, because he got the DNF in Miami.
Yeah. And that's like crazy to think that like Gasly has gotten points in each of the Grand Prix he's finished.
It's crazy seeing like
Alpine have just been like a
the past
dumpster fires. Yeah, so like that's really impressive, and as well like that Colapinto has been able to pick up points on 4 occasions. Kind of says a lot about where they're at. But yeah, that also makes sense then when you're looking at the points tally.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also kind of surprised because like they're not small points all of the time.
Yeah.
I think they've scored about 3 1-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
But also they had 3 6-pointers, 2 8-pointers, 1 4-point and 1 15-point.
Yeah.
So like that's
not bad.
That's not bad points. And then it makes sense that they're 5th.
Yeah, true.
But I don't think in my heart I would have like anticipated them being ahead of Williams. But also I think that was before the season, before we knew that they were overweight and seeing the first race and like the struggles they've been having.
Yeah. I mean, in this start of the year, I believe Alpine will be the team with the most DNFs. So
it's not looking good right now.
No, but I'm happy for them though.
It's probably going to be like either Aston Martin or Cadillac at the end of the year, actually.
Right now, at least. But if Charles keeps driving into the wall, it's like
I don't think it can be Ferrari, seeing as like Hamilton has had no DNFs so far.
Yeah, true.
Like Cadillac sometimes get 2 DNFs in the same race.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to
yesterday I saw a really fun stat on Instagram by F1. They put on like, it was basically a stat of drivers finishing laps in the Grand Prix. So they started with the driver who finished all the laps of every Grand Prix so far this season, which is obviously Lewis Hamilton with no DNFs, which is really good. And it's a pretty amazing group we have here. So starting off with Hamilton, we also have in second place, we have Antonelli and Colapinto on 431 laps, and Hamilton has 436 laps.
So that's 5 laps less, and for Kimi that's a DNF in Barcelona with a few laps to go.
Mm-hmm.
And for Colapinto, I think it's because he's been a couple of laps behind.
And
so he's had to like finish when he has like essentially laps to go.
True. After them, we have Ocon with 429 laps.
So what's that in comparison to the other 2? That's 2 laps more behind.
Yeah.
But also when we talked about the fact that Ocon has finished like, what did I say? 11th, 14th, 10th,
exactly.
13th, 14th, 9th.
That's
13th.
Also like really many laps behind.
It's usually a couple of laps behind.
After him, we have Sainz with 422 laps.
And he's also not had any DNFs, right?
I'm not sure.
If I remember.
I think he has.
Or
I think it's only been Albon for Williams.
I think so.
After him, we have Leclerc, obviously, with his DNFs on 418 laps.
That's actually crazy, because then that would actually, I think that would mean that Sainz has had 1 DNF.
Yeah.
Or what?
True.
No, you said Hamilton had 436.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm interested to see if I can see whether or not Sainz has had a DNF.
Yeah.
Because that would, like, I don't think I would have noticed that if I'm honest. I think I'll look this up actually. Okay, so I've looked it up now, and actually he has had one DNF this season.
I don't remember this.
I don't remember this either. That's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Maybe they were in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
The interesting part comes after Leclerc. We have Perez. 399 laps.
Excuse me?
Yeah. And that's also kind of interesting because how can he be so far up? Like, what has happened to him? I don't get that part. He also had one.
He also just had one
He's
DNF.
just been really slow. If you think about it, he's been like last every race.
But like, how many laps was he behind Sainz? 23 laps.
Yeah, that's one DNF.
That feels strange. But also it depends on when in the race
yeah.
you DNF.
So maybe he DNF'd in the start.
Yeah, how far back was Sainz in comparison to Hamilton? That was 14 laps. So that could be at the end of
a race. Yeah.
And Perez was 37 laps behind. So that could be like further back in the race. So like at the beginning of a race.
And also behind Perez we have Russell with 379 laps. Which makes sense due to his... Was it 2 DNFs?
Yeah,
I believe we said 2.
It's 2 DNFs. Also, kind of a sad stat, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Not 1 DNF.
It only says 1. But I'm a bit confused about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only Canada. Yeah, he it's just that he didn't get any points in Monaco because he was out of the points.
12th
so
position.
Yeah, so that's why when we talked about the points, that's why he's also behind Hamilton, because it's essentially 2 DNFs.
Mm-hmm.
So that also makes sense because he's only DNF'd once, but he did so at like I think the halfway point of Canada or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still a bit confused as to how he's like 60 laps behind Hamilton.
Yeah,
that's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this. I'm very confused.
That's crazy.
Like, was he that far behind in 12th in Monaco?
Apparently.
Yeah, but isn't it pretty short
with the new regulations
track?
Also. Yeah, they always get lapped there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe he was a couple of laps behind in Monaco.
Could it have been like 2 laps, 3 laps?
Maybe it's more than that. Like I feel like it's pretty far behind if you have lost that many. No, it's no laps behind. I'm so confused now. This doesn't make any sense.
True.
When did he retire in Canada?
Wasn't it in the middle of the race?
It still doesn't add up.
True.
I'm very confused.
Something is not right.
Something is very strange. Okay, but anyway, yeah, interesting stat to see that some of
oh my god, it's me. Oh my god, I've written the wrong number.
Oh my god, it was
397.
97. Okay, that's
not 79.
Like, yeah, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry.
That's like, what's 40 laps?
Yeah.
But that could be correct.
That makes sense.
Like, that could make sense.
All right. I'm sorry, everyone.
I was also so confused that he was so far behind Perez. I was like, this doesn't make any sense if he only has one DNF, the same as Perez. I was like, this doesn't.
I'm not allowed to do this anymore.
No, I don't think so. Okay, what have I written down? Yeah, I was thinking about the points. Yeah, once again about the driver standings.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was looking at the stats between Oscar and Lando, and I was like, oh, Lando is just up 5 points. They're pretty equal. And then I just realized that Lando had 1 DNS and 2 DNFs. And yet, like, Oscar had only had 2 DNSs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it was looking like Lando had, like, had made up more points in the races he raced. But what I realized later was that Oscar had one race where he finished 11th. So he got no points in that race.
Yeah. It was
I
when
think
he drove into Albon, was it?
yeah, it was. They started on the wrong tires. Was it in Canada?
Yeah,
was
I
it
think
right?
so.
Yeah. And he got into while trying to make up positions, he got into that a tangle with Albon, and he got 10 seconds, which I think this race Lando finished like, would it have been like 5th or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It
think
could have been that.
Russell went out. I remember.
Yeah, right. He DNF'd. He
doesn't-
DNF'd in that race.
Was that then?
Engine
that
problem.
that doesn't even count. Like I had just
Yeah.
I've just thought the wrong way. So then that point is moot, I guess. Like that doesn't really affect anything, because then it's like
Neither of them got points.
they basically DNF'd in the same race.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lando has been, I think for what he's been given, I think he's been doing quite well. If we're looking at like his stats for this season, we can see a 5th place, a 2nd place, and a 3rd place.
Yeah.
And if you compare that with Oscar, I think he's been a lot of more up and down. No, it's pretty equal.
Yeah, but
Second, 3rd, 5th. I think that's basically the same. Is it not? Well, that would make sense. Aren't they like 5 points separated?
fifth.
Yes, it's this exact same like points in the main races, but I think Lando's been better in the sprint races. I think that's where the difference is.
True.
So it's basically he's just made up like 5 points in the sprint races, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Also, still pretty low points thinking about like the constructors championship. They are 120 points behind Mercedes.
Yeah.
So I think it's very hard to claw that back.
Isn't Lando catching up on Charles now, though?
Yeah, I think, but at the same time you have to think about, like, if it's 2 points, I think you have to think about the fact that Leclerc has also now DNF'd two races. But also, we just said that Norris has DNF'd 3, basically.
Yeah, and he's still catching up on Leclerc.
Yeah, now I want to look at Leclerc's finishes this year. Because
don't.
then he has to, I think he's been flip-flopping a lot then.
Yeah.
Because, okay, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, 8th, 4th.
He's been worse, yeah.
And I think that's the 8th place is pulling him further down.
Yeah.
And also Lando had, what did we say, 1 second place as well, which Charles doesn't have.
This is so sad.
But yeah, sad to see the former constructor champions be 3rd. That's kind of sad, especially when you think that like Ferrari is in between there.
Yeah,
like
true.
That seems illegal.
Also,
when thinking about last year,
Lando and Oscar so close in the championship right now.
I said so.
Yeah,
it's 5 points.
Yeah.
So like it's basically between those 3. It's very close. It's 7 points from Piastri up to Leclerc.
Yeah.
But then it's a jump to Russell. I think it's about 30 points up to Russell. Which makes sense.
So funny that Hamilton is in between both Mercedes. I like that.
Also, yeah, thinking about the fact that, as we said, Lando is behind Leclerc, although he's had like 3 DNFs against Charles too. Like, that also, like, just hurts so much.
True.
And also, it hurts so much the fact that Lando has not started 3 out of 7 races. Because once he does, I think he...
Yeah, he started
he
one,
manages...
but he didn't finish.
Oh,
2.
yeah, but like,
I get it.
he didn't get any points for those, is what I meant.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to think what could have been, because he's obviously, we said, second, third, fifth.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like he can do something on some weekends. That's also something I've noticed a bit. It feels like the tide is changing all the time, like between who's quick with like Ferrari and McLaren, just like switching.
Yeah.
It feels
true.
like sometimes you're thinking like McLaren are good like 2 races, or they're like on the podium, both of them, and then all of a sudden like the next race they're nowhere. like they qualify like 7th.
That's crazy.
And you're like, what happened here? And then sometimes Red Bull just pop into like
the mix. Yeah.
So it's
and
also
sometimes
very
they're
strange.
really, I don't know where they are.
Also, something that we haven't talked about is the fact that I don't think I would have thought in the beginning of the year that Kimi would have been on the podium in all the races he's finished.
Yeah, me neither. That's crazy.
Like, I just thought that's like one race he would make some sort of error and he would like end up maybe being outside of the top 3. Also, the fact that he's won, what is it, 5 races? No,
Yeah.
that feels wrong.
Yeah, I think it's been 5 races.
Yeah, I think it
because
is.
Russell
but, like,
won 1, right? I think. And Hamilton won 1.
So, yeah, 5
Yeah.
wins. I think if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have thought you were like crazy to like ask if I thought Kimi was gonna win 5 races.
I think I believed in the George Russell domination.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's happening now. Yeah.
It's
It's crazy that
there's
his
been
like younger teammate is outperforming him.
Yeah. I'm very confused about this season as a whole.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that go over our heads, I think. Like as we've talked, we talked about quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which like you haven't really noticed, but I think the most crazy like ones have been like the people who are kind of under the radar, like for example Ocon and Behrman and Colapinto and Gasly, because you've noticed each weekend like when they do something good, but when you think of it overall, it doesn't feel like they've done crazy things. But when you look at the stats and the points, it's looking crazy.
Also, I looked at the RB boys, like the small RB, not the big one. The RB boys, and I saw that Lawson has won DNF in Miami, and Lindblad has won DNS in Canada.
Yeah.
But Lawson has 28 points in the championship, and Lindblad has 13 points.
Oh, that's quite a big deficit. That also feels strange, because I think I have thought that Lindblad has done better than Lawson.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I think that.
That's crazy.
Is that also like recency bias, or are you just focusing on it more when it's a rookie? Like when he does good, you just like noticed it more.
Honestly, I'm just looking at the top when I'm watching the race.
Yeah, that's the good thing about doing these kinds of things, to dive into the stats and like look at things.
Everything.
Because I don't think I would have noticed like the way that like Behrman has scored so many more points than Ocon, for example, and the fact that Gasly had 41 points and scored in every race that he's completed.
And also the fact that Cadillac has 0 points.
Yeah.
It's also one of those. And the Aston Martin has 1 point.
I had already forgotten the fact that Aston Martin even had a point.
Also, something interesting is that Audi has 3 points.
No, was it 3? I thought it was 2.
Oh yeah, maybe it is 2.
Yeah, I think
3.
it is 2.
But they are scored by Bortoleto.
Yeah, it's only Bortoleto.
Yeah, it's only Bortoleto.
And that's also crazy to think about, because like also it's almost slipped to the back of my mind, because it was in the beginning. Yeah. Like I think he had like 2 good races or something.
And now I don't know where to go.
And now I've just lost him.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, someone has to finish outside the points, and we just like, yeah, Cadillac is always outside of the points.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin sometimes maybe finish like 10th, because like there's no other cars basically.
The funny thing is that it's never Stroll. It
Yeah.
has never been Stroll.
No, it's
No.
never been Stroll.
It's always Nando.
But yeah, we just wanted to check in a little bit, like talk about things we noticed.
Yeah.
Also to record something because we're just like anxious for more Formula One.
Yeah.
In our lives.
Always.
And we'll also see you. I think it's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
In Austria, they're gonna race. So we'll hear. No, we're not here. We'll talk more with you about Austria
Yeah.
then. So see you guys.
Bye.